The new anime season for fall 2022 is now at full speed, and it is changing the pace with the slow and low quality that we had last season. We have hard hitters from returning animes, acclaimed mangas, and even original shows that are joining the lineup. And you know what time it is, baby! Time for the anime of the year to take over the season. We first start with the returning animes. Peter Grill reminds us that all women are targeting our chastity, and we should strive to stay pure. Iruma-kun comes back to the Demon School for a third season. Move Love is slowly coming in with one of the most unexpected plot twists that I have ever seen. Usagi-chan is still as annoying as ever, and Pop Team Epic still knows how to create the best memes. Heyo, what did he just said? But even in returning animes, we still have some contenders for anime of the season. My Hero Academia comes back for a 6th season, going in with some strong fight scenes. Spy Family keeps us with a cute and interesting story in its second core. Golden Kamuy is still one of the low-key best stories I have ever watched. And we will finally get to see the conclusion of Mob Psycho 100 in its 3rd season. And that is all. The returning animes for this season. Moving on, with the arrival of fall, there is something in the air that makes you feel fuzzy in the heart. What is that I smell?
Finally, some good fun.
Shoujo. Shoujo fans are eating good tonight. The Bibliophile Princess is the pure shoujo extract taken from the tears of happiness of a million people after watching cute puppy videos. The shoujo overflows with romance, as a girl that loves to read books becomes the fake fiancé of the prince in order to push away marriage candidates, but slowly she ends up falling in love with him. And for those missing the villainess formula, we have the I'm a villainess so I'm taming the final boss, in which a villainess girl remembers her past life and uses her knowledge to save the demon lord from his fate. This is the shoujo for people interested in the isekai genre and fantasy with magic. Lastly, we have the period drama, shoujo romance, murder mystery, ancient Chinese magical story that is the Raven of the Inner Palace. Not much to say about this story. It personally didn't appeal to me, but I'm sure there will be an audience for it. But if there's something to say about this, is that Queen Bee really knows how to make opening songs for animes. Next, we have the ninja field story of Shinobi no Itoki. At this moment in the story, it is hard to tell whether this is a good or bad anime. It gives me the vibes of a more hand-to-hand combat version of the irregular at Magic High School, especially with the use of the suits. The animation is above average, but so far the story hasn't impressed me too much, so we'll have to wait and see. Another disappointing anime is the Immoral Guild. Don't get me wrong, I love ecchi animes as much as anyone else, but this just feels like the girls just expose themselves for no reason, and the monster attack the private parts of the girls just for the fun of it. All while the main guy just doesn't care about them, even though he's supposedly trying to find a girl to get married. If you want an ecchi anime for the season, just watch Peter Grill. Onto the rom-com side, we have the slightly ecchi harem rom-com of Love Flaps, in which our protagonist meets 5 different girls in really suspicious situations in what can only be described as the weirdest show of the season. Did the guy just toasted a banana? Anyway, if you're into risky camera shots, this anime is for you. More Than a Married Couple, but not lovers, sets us in a school that has a marriage program, and of course, our protagonist wants to be partnered with his childhood friend, but ends up with a gal. These 2 partners decide to reach for the top of the school board, as the top graders get to exchange partners. So far, I think that this is a nice rom-com with some actual development. My only complaint is the hair. The colors are so off-putting. It makes me feel like they created the characters and they just added some random color hair just for the sake of it. And lastly, we have the OG of rom-coms, the grandfather of all tsunderes, and the original best girl in the remake of Urusei Yatsura. For those who don't know, this is a remake of the 1978 manga and 1981 anime that focuses on a boy that saved the Earth from an alien invasion. But his life is turned upside down when the possessive alien Loom falls in love with him and makes his life impossible as he's trained to chase for girls. If you have some love for the classics, this one is for you. Now, if you're looking for something more lighthearted, we always have cute girls doing cute stuff. There is cute girls doing alchemy stuff in the Management of the Novice Alchemist, cute girls doing some home improvements in the obviously titled Do It Yourself, cute girls hiding secrets, as an alien, a ninja, a medium, and a cross-dressing boy have some activities in school in the Little Lies We All Tell. And my personal favorite, cute girls form a band in Bocchi the Rock. For this last one, I was a bit hesitant, thinking that it would be a ripoff of K-On! But to my surprise, it feels like its own story, as a lonely girl learns to play the guitar to make friends, but due to her awkward social interactions, everything goes wrong, until one day, she is invited by a girl to join their band. With cute faces and funny interactions all the way, this has to be my cute girls anime of the season. Onto the Isekai batch. Well, let's see, what do we have here? I've somehow gotten stronger when I improved my farm-related skills? Whoa, that looks really generic. Well, let's see how bad it could be. Hard pass for me. Moving on. I'm not sure what is happening recently with the isekais, but beast tamers are now the craze. We're getting at least one of these every season lately. This just feels like a sugar-coated slavery. Guys, listen to me. Slavery? Bad. But taming beast girls? That's okay, am I right, guys? Anyway, this feels like the trashy isekai of the season. If you're looking for a guy with a bunch of girls doing isekai stuff, even though the story is technically just a fantasy, then this is for you. Next we have Reincarnated as a Sword. I got to say that I came to this story thinking that it was going to be trash. Just another cash grab for the isekai genre. But surprisingly, it is an acceptable anime. The cat girl main character is cute and funny, and combined with the sword, they make a fun comedy duo, while maintaining a semblance of action fantasy every now and then. My only complaint is that there was literally no reason for making the sword as a reincarnated being other than for the name of the anime. He never uses his Japanese name or knowledge from his past life, and it is basically just a sentient sword. This is just a fantasy anime with extra steps. We also have the Eminence in the Shadow. This is basically the representation of that guy that was bullshitting his way through life and the dream life of a Chunibyo. As a guy reincarnated into a world of fantasy and magic, hides his true abilities to become the hidden last boss of the world. All of this while getting a group of girls that believe everything he says. But in reality, he's just lying all the way just to look cool. But double twist, by sheer coincidence, everything he says turns out to be true, and he is deep in a conspiracy with a cult worshipping the Demon Lord. Overall, this story is action-packed and full of funny moments, and spending a full episode on his backstory while he was living in Japan was a genius idea to immerse us in this story. And finally, moving on to the contenders of the anime of the season. We first have the shonen anime with just a little bit of sports in Blue Lock, following the story of 300 young strikers that are locked into a training facility as they compete in different activities to become the #1 striker of Japan and to create the hero that will make Japan win the World Cup. While this is supposed to be a soccer anime, the story so far has mainly focused on a world building and a dodgeball competition, but the shonen vibes of this one are strong, and even for non-soccer fans, I'm sure everyone will love it. Next, if there is something that I have made clear in my past videos, is that I hate mecha animes. So when I say that a Gundam anime is on the top of the list of the animes of the season, You better believe this is that good. Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury feels like a fresh start for the series, with a story that doesn't need you to know about the past stories to follow, and a top quality animation that just takes your breath away. With the release of the prequel OVA a few months ago, I was so invested with this story, and the first episode delivered. With a duo of a female protagonist that complement each other and a great fighting scenes, this show is a must-watch. But if there's something to complain about this story, it has to be the politics. I just want to see robots fighting each other, but we spent a full episode talking about if they should be using a robot and if it's illegal or not, and who should marry who for economic gain. Please, just go back to the fighting or other plot developments, just stop with the politics. Okay, let's see. Akiba Maid War. What is this show about? Okay, I guess this is a mystery anime? Ah, the cringe, it's too much. What the fuck am I watching? Why is there a panda in the cafe? What is happening? This anime feels like the love letter to the maid cafes of old, in a time where they were not cringe. And at the same time, it also feels like a Yakuza anime in which factions of maids are fighting for a territory in the whip capital of the world, Akihabara. This story is both weird and funny, and in a way it feels like a spiritual successor to Zombieland Saga in the type of comedy that is used. If you're looking for a top-notch comedy, this one is for you. Now for the hard hitters. Oh my god. It's been 10 years and you look as beautiful as the last time I saw you. Yeah, one of the big three is finally coming back for its final arc. And the story couldn't be any more hyped. Ichigo is finally here to kick some Quincy ass, and personally, I need to applaud Disney Plus' decision to release the episode weekly instead of other previous shows that were released in batches. I know it's been only one episode, but I just fangirl screamed when this was happening. Bleach is back, baby. And lastly, the one you were all waiting for. It's Chainsaw Man time. This has to be the most hyped anime ever. And so far, I think it has delivered to the expectations in its first episode. Yeah, it wasn't the most impactful first episode like the one Attack on Titan had. It wasn't even the most impactful first episode of the season. That goes to Akiba Maid Wars. And Denji in his Chainsaw Man form looked a bit iffy when he wasn't moving. But what it did great was to set the story and get everyone ready for what it is to come. We haven't seen anything so far, and Chainsaw Man is ready to blow our minds. What is your favorite anime of the season? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you guys next time.